The following program contains the opinions of its host and guests, not those of this network. The opinions expressed are for non-commercial informational purposes only. Listeners are cautioned not to rely on program content to treat or prevent disease, but are advised to consult with a licensed healthcare professional where they live for diagnosis and treatment of disease.
And now, the superstar of alternative health and purveyor of medical truth, Dr. Joel Wallach.
Good afternoon and welcome. This is Nutritional Pharmacist Melissa Golloday, and I am a registered pharmacist with a passion for nutrition. I have been practicing pharmacy for the past 15 years, doing what is referred to as traditional bench work. And I want all of you to know out there that throughout my practice, if I was dealing with a patient who had a chronic condition, I did not see them getting better. I actually saw these people getting sicker and sicker, and over time they would end up having to add an additional medication to their regimen. It was really hard to see. I did see people, of course, recovering in acute situations, short-term use of antibiotics, etc., steroids. Those things can save lives, but chronic conditions do not improve with current medicine or with pharmaceuticals. So it was hard to see, like I said, and because of getting to know of Dr. Wallach in approximately the area of 1999 when his book came out, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, getting exposed to the whole concept, of course, that nutrition can heal the body. These are things that we do know innately in school. We learn about biochemistry and physiology. Pharmacists study that quite thoroughly. And what the body needs is the nutrients. So those are the building blocks of the body. That's what the body does. It regenerates and repairs based upon getting the building blocks it needs. And what we find a lot in modern medicine is patients aren't told this. They're not educated that nutrition is pretty much like putting gasoline in a car or getting your oil changed. If these things aren't happening for your machine, your body, you actually will not be able to regenerate and repair. So it's a pretty, tough situation to be in, watching these people, like I said, get sicker. But throughout my practice, I was able to coach patients, encourage them to nutriate and to watch what they're eating. What's great about longevity, and Dr. Joel Wallach, who founded this company, is that longevity does provide the 90 essential nutrients that we need for our bodies. And if we get all 90 of these nutrients, our bodies can actually repair and regenerate. So we need 60 minerals, we need the 16 vitamins, the 12 amino acids, and the 3 essential fatty acids. If these nutrients are in our foods and in our diet, we will be able to be healthy and to alleviate suffering. Chronic conditions only get worse, like I said, over time, and I would see people maybe start with high blood pressure. Over time, I'd see potentially things develop into kidney disease. It was really hard to watch. Example 2, somebody starts with maybe an ulcer. They're taking ranitidine for their ulcer. They're doing high-dose antibiotics to kill the H. pylori. That would progress into irritable bowel syndrome. And these people would, like I said, just get sicker and sicker. They develop really bad allergies. They start getting skin rashes. And all of that, believe it or not, is connected. There's a huge, master plan in our body. And if our digestive tracts get worn down and we develop something that's referred to as leaky gut syndrome, we end up getting what, I like to refer to as dirty blood. And when we get dirty blood, our body mounts an immune response. So a lot of energy is now spent fighting and cleaning up the blood, and repair and regeneration can't happen. The body gets leaky. There's a huge immune response, like I said. Body gets leaky. Inflammation starts occurring all over the body. The body gets worn down energetically. People just find they have low energy. They're always tired or sleepy or foggy. And if you're listening to the show and you're noticing you have any of these conditions, I want you to know that there's a solution. I personally have seen people completely turn their health around. It's been amazing. We'd love to hear from you today. Our number is 831-685-1080. Again, that's 831-685-1080. And I would love to help you learn about how you can rebuild and regenerate your body by what you're doing in your life. Are you nutriting properly? What are you eating? Circling back into nutrition and what we're eating, we need to remember that what we put in our body is important. So we have to look at, are we nutriating and are we eating properly? So Dr. Joel Wallach has discussed bad foods And the number one thing I usually talk about is gluten. So are we eating gluten? We need to keep, pay attention to that, because gluten inhibits our body's ability to absorb nutrients, and it actually damages the digestive tract. So those are things we need to think about when we're out there, for example, today, making the choices we're making. Another thing to think about, we used to be a lot more nutrited in our culture, and that's partly because of the way we did our farming. So it was much more easier for us to get nutrients in our food. Regrettably, that is not the case in 2017. In 2017, you're going to need to nutriate, need to supplement so your body can get these nutrients, like I said. Also, please remember that the food industry does not have your best interest at mind. Food chemists are paid money to make the food extremely tasty and also addictive. So if you pay attention to ingredient decks, you look at processed food in the grocery store, you're definitely going to see chemicals in there that you don't recognize. You don't recognize it, you shouldn't be eating it. So examples, modified food starch, that chemical is actually, it's a new name for monosodium glutamate. And what modified food starch does is it makes your food taste really, really good, and you want more and more of it. Not only is that tricking the body, causing you to consume extra calories, it's also usually derived from gluten. So it's an irritant also. So those are things you need to pay attention when you're out there trying to make better choices. I will let you all know, it's hard. It definitely is a challenge, but it's worth it. And it's worth it because you're going to have a quality of life that will far exceed what a lot of your family members, maybe what you've seen your parents go through or your grandparents. So things such as type 2 diabetes, I've seen that condition reversed based on taking better care of the body and seeing, people don't have to go through losing body parts. I had a grandmother, she lost her leg below the knee. She had an amputation based on type 2 diabetes. Over time, the damage got so severe that her body actually wasn't able to get nutrients down into her lower extremities, and she lost her, below her knee, she had an amputation. And I'm seeing that even today. I had a friend, he just recently lost some parts off his body. So don't want that to happen to you. I would love to hear from you today, and excited to take your calls. Thank you.
You're listening to Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network with your host, Dr. Joel Wallach. Out today, and filling in is nutritional pharmacist Melissa Golloday. And if you'd like to talk to Melissa today, give us a call on the priority line at 831-685-1080, toll free 888-379-2552. In recent years, several studies have discovered the healthy benefits of drinking coffee. Longevity has now taken it a step further with an entire product line of healthy coffees from Longevity's JavaFit line of top-shelf gourmet coffees. All JavaFit coffees are made from 100% premium, hand-selected Arabica coffee beans grown in the finest regions of Latin America, carefully roasted, creating a delicious, rich, full-bodied flavor. If you're interested in a smooth, delicious coffee but have concerns about caffeine, JavaFit offers our great original roast in a decaf, using the Royal Selected Water Decaf process filtered through charcoal, resulting in a 99.9% caffeine-free and 100% chemical-free, full-bodied gourmet coffee. Contact your local FDI Longevity distributor to get Javalution coffees. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Hi everyone, Andy Anderson here. Are you using those handy little bottles of gel that zap germs, bacteria, and other nasties? In today's world, that's smart, especially with all the filthy doorknobs, shopping carts, and handrails we touch every day. Here's what you may not know. Once the alcohol evaporates, goodbye effectiveness. No more protection until you use it again. PureWorks to the rescue. Our FDA-compliant foam, lotion, soap, and spray do not rely on alcohol. Their killing power lasts up to 4 hours. PureWork disinfecting spray is EPA certified to kill swine flu, bird flu, MRSA, HIV, hepatitis B and C, and a whole host of viruses and bacteria. Mold and fungus too. It's even safe around children and pets. You'll love the soft feel of PureWorks on your hand. It actually conditions and will not dry your skin. Here's a little peace of mind knowing your hands are still germ-free hours later. Get your hands on PureWorks and get PureWorks on your hands. Stand by. Pull out your paper and pencil for your local number to order PureWorks.
We are back on Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network with your host today, nutritional pharmacist Melissa Golloday. Welcome back to the show, Melissa.
Thanks, Doug.
I thought today we might talk a little bit about acid reflux and the medications therein that are prescribed, as I have a CBS News story here headlined, Heartburn Meds Associated with Increased Risk of Kidney Damage Study Finds. This was all published in the journal Kidney International. And what they're talking about is these prescribed proton pump inhibitors, or PPIs, and they're under brand names like Prevacid, Nexium, Prilosec, and they also looked at H2 blockers like Zantac and Pepcid. They say prolonged use of heartburn drugs is associated with increased risk of kidney damage. They looked at adults using these drugs, and they said over the course of 5 years, they looked at over 125,000 PPI users and studied whether they had a higher risk for chronic kidney disease, and found that they did. And they said it was more so than the H2 blockers. They say it could impact an estimated 15 million Americans who use these prescription PPI medications for heartburn and acid reflux. And the CBS medical contributor, Dr. David Agus, says chronic kidney disease is not one that has symptoms or signs until it's too late. So obviously this is worrisome. There were some prescription brands, but they're also available over-the-counter. And the over-the-counter, classically, people aren't checked for kidney problems. They say heartburn can occur when acid from the stomach goes back into the esophagus and the lower esophageal sphincter or valve between the stomach and the esophagus would normally prevent this acid backwash, but some people's diets could weaken the valve. And they go on to say avoid fatty foods, avoid eating too much, alcohol, tobacco, all make that valve weaker and allow acid to come into the esophagus. They say you should avoid this acid reflux. And, I know one thing that the doc actually calls it lack of acid reflux, because he contends that their pH in their stomach acid isn't strong enough, and thus then they get yeast and bacteria and things growing, and then that causes, belching and bloating. And one way to prevent that would, if you want to go a non-PPI route, would be to use probiotics and ultimate enzymes to help strengthen your stomach acid. And CBS News actually reached out to Pfizer, who makes Nexium, and get their take on all this. And Pfizer's referred them to their Consumer Healthcare Productions Association, and they provided a statement saying that over-the-counter medicines, including PPI products, are regulated by the Food and Drug Administration Center for Drug Evaluation and Research. Each over-the-counter PPI product has been extensively reviewed by the FDA before approval. A typical response, they're like, oh, well, the FDA approved it. I think of all the drugs over the years that the FDA has approved that have been now pulled off the market because they were killing people.
That's right, Doug. There's a lot of examples of that, and it's honestly a crime what's happened. And the illogic of prescribing, acid blockers for people that are having digestive challenges, it's unbelievably illogical. And what ends up happening, like you were discussing, the body already doesn't have enough acid. Now you take more drugs on top of that, continuing to suppress the acid. You pretty much tell people they can eat whatever they want. You see those commercials where now they can eat a double-decker cheeseburger because they took a Pepcid. That's like the worst imagery ever. Should be a meme. If anybody's listening to that, please make a meme, because that's like stupid. And so now they're eating a cheeseburger, and because they took Pepcid, and all that's happening is that food is hitting their stomach, and now there's nothing to digest it. There's no acid in the stomach, and it leads to putrefaction of the gut. And now the gut has undigested food particles in it, and it just causes huge problems. If we're talking about inflammation already, and you get the putrefaction of the gut, it causes what leads to dirty blood, and dirty blood is what leads to kidney disease. So we can see it's a big cycle. Definitely not in your best interest. And you mentioned Doc. What does Doc recommend, Doug?
He would recommend, taking probiotics like the Nightly Essence and the Ultimate Enzymes, because that will actually bolster your, as they say, the enzymes are gallbladder in a bottle, because it helps your body have a stronger acid, and then you'll be able to digest your food a lot better.
Yep, and that's right on. It's great advice. And also starting maybe with some apple cider vinegar in the morning. That's another great remedy, folk remedy that really helps the digestive tract, lemon water. So those are all things to keep in mind if you're having trouble digesting food. And then, of course, you want to look at your diet. What are you eating? Because if you're having indigestion, also do you not have a high amount of acid, you're probably eating stuff you're allergic to.
And we're just about at break time now. We're going to head to a couple of commercial breaks. We'll be back in a couple of minutes here. You're listening to Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network with your guest host today, nutritional pharmacist Melissa Golloday, and we'll be right back. Aromatherapy oils have been prized by ancient cultures for thousands of years. Longevity's ancient legacy, true aromatherapy, is no exception. Essential oils are the fragrant life essence from plants that are gently removed through the process of steam distillation. Longevity's ancient legacy essential oils are of the purest concentrations from the most respected and ethical distillers worldwide. Many ancient legacy oils come directly from families in the East which have been distilling essential oils for over 100 years. Keep Ancient Legacy's tea tree oil in your medicine chest for first aid. Tea tree oil is great for soothing the itching and stinging associated with insect bites, burns, scrapes, and other skin irritations. It's also effective as an antiseptic. To learn more about aromatherapy and essential oils, contact your local Longevity associate today. And don't forget to ask about business opportunities.
Hey, if you're like me, your life is hectic. You don't know where you're going to be next. Between kids and family and in-laws and work and traffic and everything else that's driving me crazy right now, my life is insane. I bet your life's insane as well. When do we have time to get every single nutrient we need to be healthy? When? Well, I've got a tip for you. Take a product called Pollen Burst. It's so simple, even I can do it. All you have to do is open the package, pour it in water, mix it up, and bam, you're ready to go. It tastes great. It's not one of those medicine-tasting things. It tastes great, low in calories, helps curb your appetite, gives you natural energy that doesn't let you crash, gives you your vitamins, minerals, nutrients, everything from the plant world. And I got to tell you, for a busy person like me or a busy person like you, we need simple, we need good. Pollen Burst is your answer. Tastes great. Try it, and you'll feel better.
Call your local Longevity distributor to find out how Pollen Burst can make you feel better. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities. You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Longevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Longevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463. And we are back on Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network with your host today, nutritional pharmacist Melissa Golloday. If you'd like to talk to her today, give us a call on the priority line at 831-685-1080, toll free 888-379-2552. Welcome back to the show, Melissa.
Thanks a lot, Doug.
What do you say we hit the calls?
Sounds great.
All right, let's head to Texas. And Karen, you're on with Melissa Golloday.
Hi, Karen. Welcome.
Hi, Melissa. I have a question about what protocol I would use for a 21-year-old young man who weighs 150 pounds. He had ulcerative colitis and had his large intestine removed. He suffers from chronic fatigue and spinal arthritis and is not even able to work.
Okay. Well, that is a tough one, Karen, and I really am, sorry to hear that. So does he have to, is he wearing a colostomy bag?
I believe so.
Okay. Is he one of your people that you're working with in longevity, or is he a friend of a friend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's brand new.
Mm-hmm. He's brand new.
Uh-huh.
Well, I can tell you this. With getting nutrition, getting the proper nutrition, he's going to start feeling better, and his energy is going to go up. As far as potentially getting him off a colostomy bag, that probably isn't going to happen. So the organ parts that have been removed, those are gone. And there's not much we're going to be able to do clearly about that. So he may have to clearly be on a bag the rest of his life. That's reality. But as far as his energy and his ability to, think clearer, things like that, we can definitely work with that. And you also mentioned he has really bad arthritis.
Yes, spinal arthritis.
And that's, Pardon?
Spinal arthritis.
Okay, so that's, okay. So what that means, what they're saying is they've clearly found inflammation all along the spinal cord and along the, his vertebrae. But honestly, he has arthritis probably all over. There's inflammation going on all over. So for him, I would get him started on the Healthy Body Start Pack. That's my personal favorite. And getting him to commit to that, to taking that every day and following that regimen to the T and sticking with it for, a solid 90 days before you really discuss where it's at, because the body needs time to, the whole 90-day cycle. And so what that means initially is the first 30 days, there could be some reactions. There might be some headaches, rashes. He might have more bowel movements, change in his bowel habits, and that's all normal. So the first 30 days is going to be a bit of an adjustment. The next 30 days, 30 to 60 days is when his body will ideally start assimilating at a higher rate. And 30 to 90 days is when we're actually going to start seeing some changes and results. And after 90 is when we can assess. So I encourage my patients to start with a numerical system. So I ask them, how do they feel? 1 being really, really bad and 5 being excellent. And I have them just put that on their calendar when we start. And then in 30 days, we reassess. We do that again, like 1 to 5, how are you feeling? And then, continue on from there. Because a lot of us forget where we start from. So for him, I would look at things such as fatigue, energy level. And, so Karen, just hold through the break, and we'll talk on the other side of the break. Thank you.
And you're listening to Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network with your guest host today, nutritional pharmacist Melissa Golloday. If you would like to talk to Melissa today, give us a call on the priority line 831-685-1080, toll free 888-379-2552. You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, your host of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. If you're interested in a colon cleanse, blood cleanse, liver cleanse, in the classical herbal way, you want to ask your Youngevity associate for Herbal Rainforest. Herbal Rainforest has 16 herbs, 16 cleansing herbs, classic cleansing herbs, and 77 plant minerals. That's right, and these are all organic. It doesn't get any better than that. In your busy day, and you're around all these toxins out there in your workplace, on the way home, going to work, in your food, in the air, in the water, you need Herbal Rainforest. I guarantee you, it will give you a cleanse. You can control the dose. It's a liquid. It tastes good. It doesn't get any better than this. A colon that's happy makes you happy. Nothing better than a happy colon. Herbal Rainforest. Clean it out.
For more information on this product or others you've heard about on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program, call your local Longevity associate today. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Greetings, everyone. Judy DeVilbus here. What do you think of when you hear the words tangy tangerine? Well, I think of like a sweet, tangy tasting something. Well, what I'm referring to is the Ultimate Tangy Tangerine. It's a fantastic product. It has everything you need, and a great benefit is it's very, very delicious. It's very easy to drink. I've suggested it even to youngsters. Even children like it. Even little guys. Even little girls. They come right into my office. Their parents can't get them to take those chewables. And besides that, they're not as good as Tangy Tangerine. And I give them a little taste of that, and you know something? They're pleased as punch. So, if it's good for a child and it tastes delicious, why not you? There's no excuse not to take a vitamin when it tastes as good as that does. So how about it? Tangy Tangerine should be the answer to all of your nutritional program problems.
For more information or to order, call your Longevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Longevity home-based business opportunities.
This is the ZBS Radio Network.
We are back on Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. And filling in for Dr. Joel Wallach today, we do have nutritional pharmacist Melissa Golloday. Welcome back, Melissa.
Thanks, Doug. Hi, Karen. Are you still there?
I am.
Excellent. So we did discuss briefly, how to help him set a scale so he can understand how he's going to be feeling as he makes these changes. Have you and him discussed Doc's list of bad foods?
Yes.
Okay. And is he on board with that?
Not necessarily. He lives at home. So we have to get his mother on board.
Okay, and that's important to know. So how motivated people are is a huge part of what their experience is going to be. So if he's motivated to make some changes, that's going to help a lot. And if he's motivated, he's going to be able to get his mom motivated, right? But if he doesn't want to give up baked goods like pizzas and cookies and donuts and all of that kind of stuff, it's going to be a hard time. So pastas and breads, and a lot of that for all of us, they're comfort foods to some nature, which means those are the things we grew up on. So those are the things we know. And a lifestyle change like that is a really big deal. I know for myself, I started mine, over 10 years ago now, and it was really hard. And I wasn't able. I loved pasta and I loved bread. And it was unbelievably difficult. So I don't want to belittle or make small of what a big lifestyle change that is. But if he wants to have a quality of life, take away the spinal arthritis and start feeling better, he's got to stay away from the bad foods. And the number one on the list in that is definitely the gluten. So no wheat, barley, spelt, rye, oats. Those things need to be out of his diet. And he needs to start eating things, whole vegetables, what they call the whole foods diet, where you're eating the entire food spectrum, staying away from processed foods. So when you go to a grocery store, teaching him to start shopping on the outer edge of the store, because that's where you're going to find the vegetables and the fruits and, the meats and the dairy. You just kind of circle the edge of the store. Pretty much everything else in the middle, most of us need to stay away from. It's a lot of dangerous processed foods. That's perfectly, with intention designed to cause you to be addicted to them, right? Processed foods are actually designed for you to want to continue to eat them all the time. So he needs to stay away from that. So getting him starting on that Healthy Body Start Pack would be the recommendation. So, and good luck with that, Karen. And please give us a call back and give us an update.
Okay, let's head on to Virginia. And Ella, you're on with Melissa Golloday.
Hi, Virginia. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it Ella?
Yes, it's Ella.
Welcome. What can I do for you today?
I'm doing good today. I'm calling about, I talked to Dr. Wallach at first, and I told him a thyroid, but it's a parathyroid that I have been diagnosed with. And right now I'm on taking the Ocean Gold.
Okay.
So I was wondering if that's a difference. Is there a change with the parathyroid from just a thyroid?
They are different glands, definitely, but the Ocean's Gold is going to help you support both of those. So what's your problem that you have?
Well, the problem that I did have is better. They had to drain it because it had what they call it, palpable lump, and they had to drain it. And once they drained it, it wasn't no mass. Everything was fine.
Okay, so you just had it drained, and now everything seems to be fine?
Yes, I was just thinking that it was a difference between the parathyroid and a thyroid.
Okay, well, Ella, go ahead and hold through the break, and we'll catch up on the other side.
You're listening to Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network with your guest host today, nutritional pharmacist Melissa Golloday, and we'll be right back. You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463. 3463.
I am Judy DeVilbus. Here I am speaking to you again. I just wanted to tell you that recently I started drinking the Whey Shakes again, the chocolate Whey Shake. And you need to remember, the Whey Shake isn't just for losing weight. It's a fantastic place to get your great protein. And if you're trying to gain weight, you can take it along with your meals. And the best part is, if you want to just have a great protein shake, do like I do. Put it over ice, stir it up, and you can sip on it for 20 minutes to an hour. I do it every single day. I absolutely love it. You need to get back to it, too. It's really good for you. And it makes not fat, but it makes muscle after you work out. And you can also mix it up in a blender with an egg, and you have the most incredible health protein shake. Or mix it with a little water, stir it up, and you have a little pudding. And who doesn't like pudding?
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities. And we are back on Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. And filling in for Dr. Joel Wallach today, we do have nutritional pharmacist Melissa Golloday. Welcome back, Melissa.
Thanks, Doc. Hello, Ella. This is Melissa. We were talking about the parathyroid.
Yes.
Yes. So that is it is a different gland, but they're very closely linked. And so one of the things that the parathyroid does is it modifies and modulates the amount of calcium in your body. And the fact that you're sharing that you had abscesses in those glands, they had to drain fluid. That's what an abscess is. So excess fluid was in your parathyroid. There's a lot of reasons that could have happened, but the main, hint is that it's clearly overworking and it's having some trouble regulating itself. And the reason that probably is because there's a calcium challenge in your body. And the only reason that would be happening is because of the dirty blood you have in your body. So it all fits into one big, piece of the puzzle. So when we look at your calcium, your body's ability to clear out minerals, that's all a big orchestrated event. And certainly, everything fits perfectly together to make that happen. So the fact that those glands were working overtime is a hint that your blood needs to be cleaned. So have you heard Doc share his bad foods list? Have you heard him share that before?
About the bad blood?
Have you heard Doc share about his bad foods list? He talks about the bad foods, the food we need to stay away from. Have you listened to it?
Yes, but I need to hear it again so I can make sure I'm getting everything right.
Sure. The number one thing is gluten. Are you still eating gluten?
No, I'm off from gluten. I got off from that.
And how's that going for you? Are you 100% off of it?
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm doing
great.
Everything gluten-free.
That's great. Are you eating a lot of processed foods right now?
No. Every now and then when I go on a trip, I try to get as healthy as I can with it by telling them what I want.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, you're on the right track. Congratulations. And I would encourage you also to get started on a Healthy Body Start Pack. Ocean's Gold is definitely going to help the thyroid. And
I have the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack.
That's perfect also. That's a great place to be. Just hold steady with that. And then we want to look at the 10 foods that we should all avoid. So wheat, barley, rye, oats, including oatmeal, fried foods, oils, and any sort of well-done red meat. And also we got to read the packaging on meats that are packaged. So nitrates, we do not want any nitrates or nitrites in our diet. We also want to avoid carbonated drinks because those do a lot of things to mess up our biochemistry and mess with our bones, actually, osteoporosis, etc. And then also the skin of baked potatoes. So those are things that you want to avoid. So what I like to focus on is what do you want to start adding? So you want to start adding a lot of organic fruits and vegetables and looking at, creating vegetable medleys where you have a lot of, dark green leafy greens with, onions and garlic and adding all kinds of other vegetables in there and getting that to be a part of your daily regimen. So you maybe make a stir fry and then you can put that in a soup and then you can maybe put it into a slow roast that you might decide to slow cook. I love slow cookers. I love rice cookers. Those are great things. I also am a huge fan of quinoa. That's a grain spelled Quin as in Nancy OA. It's an amazing grain. It's very versatile. You can make it in a rice cooker, and then you can utilize it as a breakfast cereal in place of your oatmeal. You can also put it in a soup. You can make wonderful side dishes out of it and flavor it in all variety of different kinds of ways. It's a wonderful grain, very dense in protein, and gives you the nutrients you need. So focus on adding new things, the good stuff, and just keep on going. If your gland is not swelling, that's a great sign. So clearly you're doing the right thing, and just don't let them take anything out of you. Really talk to one of us before that happens. If they start telling you you need to get your thyroid removed or they need to take out your parathyroid, don't do that. Just know that inflammation is happening in your body because something's imbalanced. So look at your diet and look at how you're nutriating right away. So definitely reach out to, us here and we will help you. But I would not get your parathyroid taken out or your thyroid or anything in your body for that matter. So hold steady, and I think you're going to see some improvements out of that. And please follow up with us. And thanks for calling in.
All right, let's head to Texas. And Moshtag, you're on with Melissa Golloday.
Hi, Moshtag.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I'm calling for a relative who had stage 2 colon and rectal cancer, and he also had ulcerative colitis, and he did chemotherapy and radiation, and eventually they removed his entire colon and rectum, and so now he has a J pouch, and outside of his, he has his intestines out. And so he's going to have another surgery in a few months to connect the small intestines to the anus, since he does not have his colon and rectum anymore. And so I was wondering, in addition to the 90, what should he focus on, such as like probiotics or the aloe vera products, or the kind of diet other than avoiding the bad foods? Should he mainly focus on liquids and stay away from solid food? And how can we really build his body to prepare for his next surgery and just to have a better quality of life?
That's great, Moshtag. It's great you're here to help him, and that you know some things, that you know some wisdom for him to gather from. I would add that, you're on the right track totally. I think somebody like this, a liquid, definitely a soup, liquid-based diet overall is going to be a lot more helpful. They're going to be able to get a lot more nutrients out of it. So you're dealing with somebody who doesn't have the normal structure that the rest of us do. So eating things like steak and that's just not going to work for him long term. So yes, he's made commitments and decisions to modify his body anatomy, and because of that, he's going to have to continue making commitments to not eat, quote unquote, like everyone else. So these lifestyle changes are permanent now, right? Because he chose to go down that path. So liquid is a great way. Think about things like broths. Making miso broths in the morning and make it versatile so it's not boring. But soups and, slow-cooked meals that turn soupy, those are going to be all very nurturing foods for him. So miso, garlic, looking into Indian-style food, it's very nurturing and regenerating. So we want to make his menu palatable. And then in regards to preparing, definitely getting him on the 90 essential nutrients right away. That's going to build up the strength of his body and allow him hopefully to go through this next transition and this next surgery. And then you mentioned probiotics and, how to build up the gastrointestinal tract. There's an amazing amino acid called glutamine, and that does a lot of rebuilding. You can actually find it. You can, there's certain products out there that they have glutamine plus N-acetylglucosamine. Those two things help build the digestive tract. So those are some things you might want to look at, a little more specialized and outside of the 90 essential nutrients. But I would definitely focus on what our product, we have a nightly essence. It is one of the most top-notch products out there for the building up the biodome, and that's what we're trying to accomplish with him. So I would highly recommend nightly essence and getting him on that plus the 90, and then getting him also starting to eat cultured foods such as sauerkraut, and maybe goat yogurt or goat kefir. I would stay away from dairy for him too, and again, avoiding the bad foods. And good luck, Moshtag, and please give us a call back and let us know how it's going. Thank you.
And we're going to head to a quick break here. You're listening to Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network with your host today, nutritional pharmacist Melissa Golloday. And if you do have some questions for Melissa, we do have some lines open. Call us toll-free, 888-379-2552. That's 888-379-2552. Lines open. When those aches and pains in your knees, elbows, hands, shoulders, and back crop up, reach for Youngevity's CM Cream. Put CM Cream on a Q-tip and put it in your ear canal for relief from headaches and sinus pressure. A topical temporary relief from minor aches and pains of muscles and joints associated with strains, sprains, and simple backaches. Why take aspirin or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs that can cause stomach bleeding and liver damage? Just apply CM Cream liberally to the affected areas, and within 20 minutes or so, you'll have relief from those nagging minor aches and pains. You'll feel better for up to 4 to 5 hours. So the next time you have achy joints or muscles, do what I do. Reach for CM Cream for relief. And for systemic relief, reach for CM Plus capsules. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Hello, Judy DeVilbus here. If I could only afford to get one product out of everything, that product would be the ultimate classic. It has the vitamins, the minerals, the bioflavonoids. It even has grapeseed extract. The one product that would give you just about everything under the sun you would need for a perfect nutritional program would be the ultimate classic. By the way, people that are on the go, it's very, very hard to take the liquids with them when they go on their trip to get their supplements in every day. Well, you know something? You can use the Ultimate Daily tablets and the mineral capsules. When I'm going on a trip, if I have enough room, I just take the 2 bottles with me. If not, just use a little baggie and take a couple of daily doses with you. It's very simple. It's very easy. There's no mess, no fuss, no refrigeration. Just take your capsules, take your tablets, and you're finished for the day.
To order these products, call your local Youngevity distributor today. You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463. We are back on Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network, and filling in for Dr. Joel Wallach today, we do have nutritional pharmacist Melissa Golloday. Melissa, I thought that was great advice you had for Moshtag, telling him about, liquids. One of the things we often recommend on the show here is bone soup, which is where you take a whole chicken and just throw it in a pot of water. And what I like to do personally is I like to buy these rotisserie chickens that you can get pretty cheap in some markets, and then just throw the whole thing in there, and then take, cook it for a while. Then you sift all the bones out, and then add a bunch of veggies and things, and you end up with all the collagen and everything out of the bones and the cartilage, which ends up being very beneficial for your health.
I agree, Doug. That sounds really yummy. And, it's amazing what we can all do with a slow cooker and how important it is to practice preparing our own food. Our culture's gotten really far away from that, and it definitely leads to a lot of health challenges. Also, we don't slow down and eat anymore, and the digestive tract, it needs that. We really need to learn how to sit down while we're eating, and that's why a slow cooker is kind of fun. Is you can smell the food and you're preparing something for yourself. So yeah, that's a great idea. And for Moshtag, his friends definitely, it's a really tough place to be. So we definitely are sending our prayers to him. So good luck to him.
Yeah, let's head to Rhode Island. And Werner, you're on with Melissa Golloday.
Hi, Werner.
Okay. I have muscular dystrophy, and I have been taking all 90 nutrients with Todd Harrison, and I've been having problems with constipation and heartburn, and I don't know what to do. I'm just asking for advice.
Okay, that's pretty normal. When we first start, our body doesn't know what to do with a lot of these nutrients because we just don't nutriate, a lot of us, for a long time. So I would be adding the digestive enzymes to your regimen. That's really going to help you. That's going to help you start digesting the nutrients and getting, alleviating the constipation. I'd also be looking at your water intake. It's really important for all of us to drink at least 8 ounces of 8 glasses of water a day, 8 ounces each. And we want to do that because it's going to help us have proper bowel movements. Constipation usually is based on dehydration. So if you can look at those two things, getting the digestive enzymes. That's going to hopefully take away that indigestion. And also, of course, looking at your diet order, are you sticking with the 10 bad foods? Are you avoiding those foods?
Yes, pretty sure.
Yeah. So, you said you're pretty sure, so just see if you can get a friend to help you review everything and look at what, read the small print, because that's just something you want to try to be thorough about. And then, again, adding digestive enzymes and additional water ideally is going to relieve your indigestion and your constipation. So go ahead and start there and let us know how it turns out. Good luck.
We've got about one more minute here, Melissa, before we end the show.
Excellent. So is Warder still there, or did you want to talk, Doug?
I have been taking the digestive supplements as well. I think it might be, I need to take maybe more water. I think that's the key.
No, the one you're taking should be sufficient. So that would hopefully be helping with the indigestion. So if that's not helping, and if you're already taking that, then there's something you're eating that's causing that. So you might be allergic to a fruit or a vegetable. We talk a lot about food diaries, and those help us keep track of what we're eating. So keep track of what you're eating and correlate that to, the indigestion. So if you eat something and then you're getting an upset stomach, there's something you're eating that is not working for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Yep, you're welcome. Thanks, Doug.
Well, that's the end of another Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program, and our thanks to our guest host today, Melissa Golloday, nutritional pharmacist, and Dr. Wallach should be back with us on Monday. And as Dr. Wallach would say, God bless America, God bless our troops, and God bless the Navy SEALs.